Hi and Assalamualaikum. So today my group and I will present about workplace stress. So my group consists of 4 people. I, Muhammad Fahmi bin Alias. So I have Najib Najmi, Muhammad Uwais and lastly Muhammad Haiman. I'm hoping you can give a full focus and attention about our presentation today. So I will continue with the introduction and research background. We are here to discuss a workplace stress. It is a critical global issue. Our focus is on the factor influencing employee stress. In today modern work environment, pressure is high. One of the key stressors is unclear job expectations. It is because uh, it's because it make employees are not sure of their role and tasks. This can lead to a negative effects such as decreased productivity, exhaustion, and reduced job satisfaction. This setup is become our problem. So, I will continue with our problem statement. As for our core problem it is high with employee stress in Malaysia with an understanding gap. Our research point to specific contributing factor including unclear job, strict policy and heavy workload. As for the research gap, it is how these things interact specifically in Malaysia sector. And lastly, and as our study goals is to bridge this gap. We aim to help organizations develop effective stress management, improve their well-being and increase their performance.
Definition for dependent variable and independent variable. The first one is dependent variable, which is workplace stress. Workplace stress is the psychological, emotional, and physical tension that occurs when employees perceive that their job demand exceed their ability, especially when they have low control over their work environment. For the first independent variable, which is unclear job expectation. Unclear job expectation or role ambiguity refer to a lack of clarity in job roles, responsibility, or performance standards, causing confusion and psychological stress for employees. For the next IV, which is strictness of workplace policies. Strictness of workplace policy refer to the inflexibility of organization rules and procedure, which can lead to reduced autonomy and increased stress when employees feel controlled or unfairly treated. And the last IV is workload. Workload is the intensity and quantity of work demands placed on an employee, particularly when they exceed the individual's capacity to respond effectively, leading to emotional exhaustion and stress. Next, empirical study between independent variable and dependent variable. For the dependent variable, according to Lazarus and Folkman, stress is a psychological response to the perceived imbalance between demands and available resources. Similarly, Karasek's job demand control JDC model emphasized that high job demands with limited decision-making control can lead to stress and burnout. This aligns with local findings from a 2019 national survey among 1,839 assistant medical officers in Malaysia, where 43.6% experienced high stress level, primarily to job-related pressure. Collectively, both global theory and local data confirm that workplace stress is a significant concern affecting employee well-being and performance. For the first independent variable, Khan et al. Introduced the concept in role theory, stating that when employees lack clarity about responsibility and performance standards, it leads to psychological strain. Jackson and Schuler found in their meta-analysis that role ambiguity is strongly associated with stress and job dissatisfaction. These findings are supported by a 2024 Malaysian study of 396 IT executives, which showed a negative correlation of negative 0.423 between role ambiguity and emotional well-being. This variable is shown to cause confusion, fear of making mistake, and long-term job dissatisfaction. For the second independent variable, Borica and Bath found that overly complex and rigid policies in financial institutions lead to increased employee frustration and stress due to lack of control. Another study by Dr. Jita emphasized that sudden, unpredictable changes in policies without proper communication can lead to anxiety and depression. These sources suggest that strict policy increase psychological burden and reduce employee morale. And the last independent variable, which is workload. According to the job demands resources JDR model by Becker and Demunuti, when job demands like workload are high and resources are low, employees are more likely to experience burnout. Maslach and Jackson, in their development of the Maslach Burnout Inventory (MBI), also identified workload as a central predictor of emotional exhaustion. Locally, a 2021 study at UTM Hospital using NASA TLS and MBI revealed a moderate correlation between high workload and psychological distress. A 2023 study of 150 construction workers in Malaysia further emphasized that long working hours and insufficient rest contribute significantly to stress. These findings support global models that position workload as a key driver of stress, especially in labor-intensive industry.
Now, I will present the research objective, research question and method of analysis for this research. Based on this research, we have developed 3 research objectives. The first objective is to examine the relationship between unclear job expectation and stress in the workplace. For the second objective, to examine the relationship between strictness of workplace policies and stress in the workplace. And the third objective is to investigate the relationship between increased workload and stress in the workplace. This objective will help guide our research analysis and ensure that we achieve clear and focused results. Next, this study is guided by 3 research questions. First, what is the relationship between unclear job expectation and stress in the workplace? Second, what is the relationship between strictness of workplace policies and stress in the workplace? Lastly, what is the relationship between increased workload and stress in the workplace? These questions are important because they help us focus on specific factors that may contribute to workplace stress. Next, we go to the method of analysis. In this study, we use SPSS to analyze the data. SPSS was selected for its robust data management features, intuitive interface, and extensive array of statistical analysis tools that are well suited for social science research. First, we apply descriptive statistics to summarize participant demographic. Then, we conduct a reliability test using Cronbach Alpha to check the consistency of the questionnaire. After that, we perform correlation analysis to identify the relationship between workplace factors and stress. Lastly, we use multiple linear regression to determine which factor has the biggest impact on workplace stress, focusing on R-square, beta coefficient, p-value, and f-statistic to validate the model.
Next, we will go through to the research method. So, I will start with research design and sampling. Our research used a quantitative causal design with a correlational approach to examine how 3 factors, which is unclear job expectation, strict policies, and workload, that contribute to workplace stress. We also collected data from employees in their natural work environments. Using a one-time cross-sectional study, each participant represented an individual unit of analysis. For sampling, we used a convenience method, which is selecting willing participants from different workplaces. Since we studied 3 independent variables, our minimum required sample size was 30 participants that followed by the 10-to-1 rule in regression analysis. Next, we move to data collection and measurement. We use a structured questionnaire divided into 5 sections, which is section B to E, measure the independent and dependent variable using a 5-point Likert scale that from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Ethical considerations were strictly followed. We obtained approval from UiTM Ethics Committee and ensure all participants gave informed consent. Participation was anonymous and voluntary, with no personal data collected. The process was designed to be simple and respectful of each respondent, privacy and time. And the last part for research method, which is data analysis plan. For data analysis, we use SPSS version 28. First, we apply descriptive statistics to summarize demographic data and overall trends. Next, we tested reliability using Cronbach Alpha to ensure each set of questions was consistent. A score above 0.7 was considered acceptable. Then, correlation analysis was used to examine the strength of relationship between variables. Finally, multiple regression analysis identify which factor had the strongest impact on workplace stress. We used a p-value threshold of 0.05 to determine significance, assuring our results were statistically meaningful. So that's all from my part. I will pass to the next presenter for the conclusion.
So, in conclusion, our research identified a critical factor influencing workplace stress. Our findings show that stress correlates with unclear job expectations, strict workplace policies, and workload. Each of it significantly impact employee well-being and their productivity, and as our recommendation for organizations are to clarify role for each employee and to adapt flexible policy and also manage workload effectively for their employee. The overall impact is to improve well-being, reduce burnout, and increase productivity for employee. Remember, investing in stress mitigation is investing in the thriving workforce. That's all from us. Thank you.